Hello, I'm Robyn Smith, and welcome to the Healthy Relationships Sisterhood, or the YouTube channel, or wherever you're watching me tonight or today or whenever you're watching. And I'm happy to be here and to be offering you what I'm calling the 3 keys to healthy communication. So if you are here watching live, say hello in the comments, say where you're from so we can see who's joining from all over the world. And if you're watching the replay, you can put #replay and I will love to see you there. So I'm going to pull up my notes. So we are talking about healthy communication. We're looking at why it's important, what's in the way of it, what are some of the pitfalls, and then I'm going to offer you 3 keys that I think are some of the essential keys for helping you to start shifting the bad communication patterns or habits that you might have. So, and I'd love to hear from you in the comment if you are here live with me, or even in the replay, what do you see as your biggest communication issues or challenges? So go ahead and put that in the comment, and that's going to help me teach to you more and answer your needs, your concerns. So let's start with the positive. What's the good part? What can happen when you have really awesome communication in your life? In not only your relationship, your romantic relationship, but in your relationships with your parents, your kids, your coworkers, your friends, right? Because usually it translates pretty well across the board. If you have good skills, you can use them wherever you go. So go ahead and put in the comments some of what you think happens when you have good communication or healthy communication. And I'll just pop in the Facebook group. I'm on a little shaky surface, so if it's moving, that's why. I'm not seeing it yet. Okay, so let's get back to what I'm going to share, and then I'll come and look for your comments later. So here's what I think happens and what I've noticed happens, because I was one who didn't communicate very skillfully in the past, and I found myself in power struggles and in arguments and blame fests and things like that. So what I notice now is that when I have healthy communication habits, I have a lot more ease and flow in my relationships. There is a feeling of getting heard by me, by the other person. There's a feeling of getting understood by both parties. There's a feeling of mutual support, and it's drama-free. I'm pulling up my notes again here. Feeling of being on the same team. So when we're hearing each other, we're understanding each other. It doesn't mean we agree, but there's more of a camaraderie happening, right? And more of a feeling of being connected and, like I said, supported. So that's what I think, those are the main things I see as what's possible when you have really good communication in your relationships. And that's why it's so important. It's one of the cornerstones, I think, of healthy relationships, is having healthy, effective, and clear communication. So put a yes in the comment if you want some of that. And I'm going to close something up so I can see better. Okay, so let's talk now about some of the main communication pitfalls that you might be stumbling upon when you're trying to communicate well and it's not working out. And so some of the main communication pitfalls I've experienced in myself and in my clients these are some of the most basic and common, is blaming, is criticism, is shutting down. One person just shuts down or walks away, or withholding information. So these are some of the keys. Blaming, not the positive keys, but the negative pitfalls: blaming, criticism, shutting down or walking away, and withholding. So when any of those things happen, what you get is more distance in the relationship. You don't feel that connection we were talking about. You don't feel the support. You don't feel heard and understood. None of it. So that's that's no fun. Most of us put the word bummer in the comment if you have experienced that or are experiencing that right now in some of your most important relationships. And if that's happening for you, I just want to say, don't give yourself a hard time for it, because you are so not alone. It's one of the reasons I want to do these kinds of teachings, and the upcoming training I'm going to be telling you about at the end is that it's so prevalent, or we could say pervasive, that these issues are so pervasive. That's how I'll say it. They're everywhere, in our culture. And I don't know so much about other cultures, but I'm imagining it's not too different. That we just don't know how to communicate effectively. We aren't taught it in school. We aren't taught it at home. And so we're all kind of a victim of these unhealthy habits. But here we are. We're here to learn and to change the pattern, right? So kudos to you for being here and for saying yes to learning and shifting the tide towards more connection. So let's talk more about now what might be in the way of healthy communication. And so different from what I just talked about, the pitfalls, now what else might be in the way, or we could say at the root of some of your communication issues? So me being trained as a trauma therapist, that's what I think of as trauma, is early trauma that affects how we feel emotionally. It affects how we feel energetically, physically. It affects our beliefs about who we are. And so when we have a constant, like, I'm not good enough, or I have to prove myself, or I need to be the best, these types of things are going to get in the way of your communication, because you're sort of playing a game. You're trying to win. You're trying to, get something, and it's there's not a sort of an equal give and take and an openness in your communication when that's happening. Say yes if that's making sense right now, or feel free to ask a question if it's not. So other things that might be getting in the way are not being able to trust, is misperceiving what others are saying or doing as an attack on your person or your value. So that was a handful. I could go on and on, but I don't want to overwhelm you. But hopefully that's making sense to you, and maybe some of those are ringing true for you. I know a lot of those were my patterns: not feeling good enough, not feeling heard was something I experienced from childhood, because my mother was often preoccupied. So I had a real trigger around you're not listening to me. And so that was something that would get in the way. Or for other people, it might be not feeling trusting or not feeling valuable. So all those things that we carry, this baggage that we carry from our childhood and our early relationships, can get in the way of our present adult relationships. But not to fear, because we can get through that. We can do the inner work that helps us to release a lot of that stuff. And so we're not carrying it around and putting it in between ourselves and other people. So let's move on to what I would call, there's so many keys to healthy relationships. So I'm giving you a few today, and then I'm going to tell you how you can learn more very soon. So here's a few communication tips that I want to share with you tonight or today, whenever you're watching, and that you can literally implement right away and see what happens. Now, of course, we don't all have the same communication issues, so you might find you're already doing those things, but for some of you, you're not, and so this is going to be a game changer for you. So first one is make eye contact, like I'm making right now. So when you make eye contact with someone, it helps them to know you're paying attention, right? And that they're valued, that they're worthy of your attention, right? And so often, especially in our modern society, we are, I don't have my phone here, but we're on our phones, right? We're doing something else. We're cooking, we're cleaning, we're driving while trying to have a conversation. And not that sometimes that's totally fine. Obviously, we're capable of multitasking to an extent. But if you want to have a meaningful conversation, if you really want to get heard, then you want to have someone's eye contact, right? You want to feel them sensing you, and how that's a great way to do it, right? Because they're looking at you, and we perceive so much with our eyes, right? We get so much, even if we turn off the sound, right? We would get so much from reading body language. So eye contact is really crucial in healthy communication. So that's number one. Number two, this is sort of in a similar vein. It's making sure the other person is actually available for this communication. So obviously, if they're multitasking, they're not, but sometimes they might not be available emotionally. Maybe they're super preoccupied with the work project or some trouble at home, and they're like, they can't be present for you. They can't give you their attention. Even if they can give you their eye contact, it might not be the same as being available emotionally and energetically. So that would be the second thing. And I would actually ask you to point that towards yourself as well, to make sure that when you want to have a good communication with someone, that you feel available for that. It doesn't mean you don't have other emotions running. We're going to have anger sometimes, or sadness or fear, but are you able to be present enough to communicate what you need to communicate, or to be on the receiving end of someone else's communication? So I think that was actually it that I was going to share tonight. I kind of did share 3 or 4 things. So the eye contact and the ask. So on the note of making sure someone else is available, if they're not, you can ask, right? You can ask them, are you available right now for this conversation? Or if not, when? Can we make a time? Can we put it in our calendar? How about after dinner? Whatever. So you can make some proposals about that. But getting their yes, it's like asking for consent around their availability. And then the third one was making sure you are available. And the other aspect of what I wanted to share, I'm remembering now about that, is that sometimes when we have a lot of emotions running, say you got super triggered, you're very upset with the person, maybe you're shaking, or you're really red hot with anger, or your hands are clenched, that's probably not the best time to have the most conscious, healthy communication, because your emotions flood your system and they actually shift your nervous system to a state of more like emergency, or we also call fight or flight. So I would recommend that when you want to have a good communication, you make sure you're available energetically, emotionally, and physically. So those are the 3 things. Good eye contact. You're making sure you have consent with the other person to communicate, and you are in a good place to communicate. There is a ton more I can share about all that, and that's why I am super excited to be offering you my new training. It's called the Rock Your Relationship Communication Training. And this is starting right here in this group, March 21st, 2022. It's going to be at 5:30 p.m. Pacific. And what I'd love for you to do, and don't worry about timing if you can't make it, there's ways to still catch the training. But I'm going to grab the link for you and put it in the comment. Got to find that link. Oh, it's right there. Here we go. So Rock Your Relationship Communication Training. What is this about? Hey, there's people in the comments. Here we go. So this communication training it's going to be familiar to some of you who've done my Get Heard training. It's really about getting you heard and understood and supported and connected, the things I've been talking about tonight. it's learning the skills and the healthy techniques to make sure of the things I was talking about. You're not in blame, you're not in criticism, you are, available, all the things, and way more than I was able to share here tonight. So it's really a robust training, and it's totally free. How cool is that? It's totally free. And so I hope you take advantage of it. When you go to click the red button on the page to sign up, it looks like a payment cart, but you'll see it just says 0. And it's just an easy way for me to just automate your email and your name so that I can send you the links and the information to participate. But you will see there is an opportunity for a VIP support package. And that is a very cool opportunity to spend more time with me and a more intimate group of women on Zoom after the training. And there'll be some other perks that come with that. But if you go for that, it's super low cost. And it's a way for you to get your questions answered, to bring up what's going on for you, to get some coaching, to work to take the practices that we're doing in the training to the next level. So I highly recommend that if you can do it. And just click the red button on the page and you'll see all the information that you need. And of course, feel free to pop in a question if you have one here. But I'm super excited about that. So just tell a friend and share this link with them. And thank you so much for being here. I have a lot of comments. So I'm so happy to see Sylvia and Barbara and Kathy here watching. And so got a yes from Sylvia, welcome. And bummer, yeah, the bummer was for if you are finding yourself in those pitfalls of communication. Kathy, also bummer, trying hard not to check out in tough conversation. Yeah, that's really hard, especially when there are emotions flooding. Sometimes that's how your system knows to handle it. And that's okay if you need to check out sometimes or take a break. Don't be hard on yourself for that. You really need to honor your limitations and your system's needs. But ultimately, you get the skills to be able to stay more present or to be able to come back when you're more available. Yeah, trust, she says. I just want to be heard a little bit, just a little bit, huh? Barbara, I want to be heard a lot myself, but we could start with a little bit and include it in our house project. Yeah, of course you want to be included. Everyone wants that. So I support you in that, and I hope that the skills you'll get here, and this might be for you some review, but it's good, right? When I first studied this stuff, I did these trainings like this. I did a full weekend of training like this 9 times, 9 weekends of the same training, because every time it was different, and I kept getting it on another level. So even if you didn't get heard last year, I strongly encourage you to attend again. You're going to get a nice reboot, and you are a different person this year than you are last year. So you'll be hearing things differently, implementing them differently. So definitely take advantage. It's all free. So it's a really good opportunity. I'm becoming resentful over not feeling heard. No doubt. Yeah, feeling heard is fundamental to, being a human. Like, why would we talk and have ears if we didn't need to be heard? So it's so important for our relationships. I'm sorry you're not getting that. And I sure hope that you can get that and that you come back to the training and get the skills you need. So thanks, everyone. Maybe I'll refresh the page and see if there's any more comments. Yeah, I forgot I had a mic over here. I put it to the side. I hope you can hear me well enough. Okay, being aware when my partner is not in the right place, give him space and wait. Well done. When the opportunity is right, exactly. You want to take advantage of the right opportunities and not the wrong opportunities. Sometimes you have to say something now, and there are those moments, and you hope it goes well. But yeah, it's really good if you can be patient and like sense and energetically tune into what's going on and know, if it's right timing. Joyce, what are the dates of the training? Yeah, so I'll repeat that. It starts March 21st and it goes through the 28th. So we're going to have just like an hour a day all week long. There's a couple of the sessions are going to be a little longer. And if you do opt in for the VIP, then you're going to get an extra time with me and a small group of women. And it's only for women, by the way. It's a nice way that we like this sisterhood here. It's a great way to feel safe. And by the way, most of the training happens in this group. So if you're here now, you don't have to go anywhere else. You can just show up here for the training. And I'm going to be offering a lot of prizes. I love offering prizes because it helps you to show up and learn. And that's what I want most, is that you start transforming your relationships. But I'm also offering this year up to $2,000 for the grand prize winner. So it's really huge, and it's in relationship mentorship with me. So check it out and come on down to the training with the dates and the time. So hopefully you heard that. I'm going to let you sign on to the training, and don't worry about the times, because there will be opportunities to watch later if you didn't make it live. That being said, watching live is the best, because that's when you're going to be just like we are here. You're going to see other people's comments. You can comment on them. You can ask me questions. I can respond just like we're doing now. So live is the best. So it will be, I'll tell you now, at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, and Monday through Friday on the week of the 21st. And then there's a couple other times. So go to the link, and I'll put that in the comment again for you to click on that and sign yourself up, and you're going to get all the information you need, and there's nothing to lose. So go for it, ladies and goddesses and sisters. I am thrilled to be of support and a guide for you. So thanks so much for showing up. I love seeing you all tonight, and I can't wait to share more awesome communication tips with you starting on the 21st. Mwah. Bye for now, and I'll see you in the comment section if you're watching later.